My name is Joshua. I used to be a carpenter in the city, but then I had the bright idea to drag a 32-foot wooden sailboat into the woods of eastern Canada where I'm living off-grid. Built in Japan in 1966, for almost half a century she sailed the seven seas only to be marooned on the other side of the world. I aim to fix that. The only problem, I've never worked on a boat before. This is a boat in the woods.
December 14th, 2025. It's been snowing more frequently this winter. Last week, the tarp blew off of the frame, so I've just been draping it directly over the boat. It's time-consuming and a bit of a pain, but it's safe from the strong winds we get off the Bay of Fundy in the winter. I also got a pair of spikeless cleats to help with the slippery decks. Once I had the tarp peeled back, I started working on the shelter again, nailing more strapping on to tie the structure together. I'm using nails this time because they deal with the flexing of the shelter in the wind better than the screws, which tend to shear much easier than nails.
A bunch of rabbit prints and then what looks like a wing in the snow. Maybe someone got a meal.
I've been wrestling with the birch poles, but I'm finding that a little bit of persuasion from a ratchet strap helps to line things up. At the end of the day, I put the tarp back on and cinched a rope around it and the boat since they're calling for more snow overnight. December 15th. Cold this morning, somewhere around -10 degrees Celsius. Working in the snow and wind is slow and challenging, but warm enough with the right clothes. Once I got moving, I was warm enough I had to take my jacket off until the wind picked up again. Later in the day, the snow started coming down enough that the boat and my tools were getting covered in snow, so I tarped everything back up for the evening. December 16th. With the RAV needing a bunch of repairs, I thought it was pretty fortunate that I found a 2004, same generation, parts car on Kijiji for a few $100. It was a couple hours away, and there was no way it was getting here under its own power, so Chad helped me pick it up with his truck and car hauler. Pickup went smooth-ish, except for a seized wheel and also the trailing arm snapped off of its mount. I'll start digging into it tomorrow. December 17th. I wanted to check the engine on the donor RAV to see if it would be worth saving. It wasn't. I pulled the ignition coils and plugs and was surprised to see that they were nearly destroyed.
Oh.
It seems like an air leak at the throttle body caused the engine to run lean, which was happening long enough that it trashed the plugs and likely the engine since it was giving really low compression numbers.
What's that read?
95.
95.
Yeah.
The coils were in much better shape than mine though, so I swapped them out and put in a new set of spark plugs.
Oh my god. What the hell is this? Go ahead.
I also cleaned the mass airflow sensor and airbox. It still has a hard start issue, so I'll have to do some more digging, but it has a lot more power and is more responsive.
What's up?
December 18th. Back to the shelter. It was a beautiful sunny day, so I thought it would be good to get some sun and enjoy the good weather. I ripped a few more 1x6 boards into 1x3s for the shelter strapping. After that, I started working on ways to permanently brace the shelter, settling on using thinner birch poles nailed diagonally near the peak. I had to make a grocery run into town in the afternoon, so I didn't get much done before I had to start prepping things for the storm that we're expecting tomorrow. It looks like we're in for 25 millimeters of rain and wind gusts up to 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. Should be interesting.
So it's very windy and wet today, like the weather report said. I've decided that until I get this car fixed, I probably won't release another video because I don't want this. It's kind of turning into like a car in the woods. And I'm not able to visit my mom and family in Halifax for Christmas because of the car. So I really just want to put my head down and get that done. I'm still going to record it, and I'll release, one more video on that. And then, I would even like to get this shelter done because this is dragging on. Once those two things are done, I'll have, like a longer video that I'll release for that. And then that's finished. And then I can move on to the next things on the checklist. So yeah, I'm hoping it won't take too long. Like, I don't think it's going to be a month before I release another video. Probably just have to skip a week. But yeah, thank you for your patience. Anyway, I'll see you once that's done.